Mm, Jesus is Lord. He won't let you down. 'Cause I know He's down in my heart. Oh, in my heart. Yes, sir. Oh, oh, ooh, yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. What y'all know about that? Commodores. Father, help your children. Good morning, welcome. It's one of my rare appearances on my Sunday morning worship. Y'all come on in here. I mean, maybe y'all on your way to church. Or you might wait and take the go to the 11 o'clock service. So I'm going to go ahead while it's nice and crisp out here. I think it's about 54 degrees, but the sun is beaming down. I'm looking like the blue Unabomber. But it's cool though. Want to go ahead and get this off my chest, what I'm thinking about. It's a hot topic going on. It's Sunday morning. Ernest, what's up, man? Good morning, sir. How are you? This is a good Sunday morning. Easy like Sunday morning. Oh, damn, they at work too. Working on these damn townhouses right here. But look, I'm gonna take my time with this. Y'all know y'all been seeing. I don't know if you've ever come across this video on your status, be it Facebook or Instagram. And Mary Max, good morning. And you have this African journalist interviewing a female member of the LGBT, and the running punchline is, "You are gay." And, hello, why are you gay? And so that has been the punchline all over social media. And so people spell it Ghey. Why are you gay? I don't know what country in Africa they're from, but it is very hilarious whenever you check out the interview. He goes straight to it. He don't play with it. And so, but now things have kind of gotten a little serious across the country, across the world. I'm sorry. You know, America and her European allies have been really doing, it's almost like they're going on a tour of recruitment or trying to, it's like I call it, or what, not me, but I view it as that, but I'm parenting the words of some of the African leaders, particularly ones in Kenya, Uganda, and I think the Gambia, Zimbabwe. You know, they're almost referring to this, what's going on, this recruitment or this forced recruitment of homosexuality as bullying tour. Most recently, I told y'all that Kamala Harris went to those countries, went to Ghana and Togo and Benin, trying to pay them off, bribe them with money, $60 million and so plus, and they're trying to force Africa. You know, they started with Obama. He went over to Kenya, and the Kenyan president told him, "No, man, you can take your ass back to America with that." Y'all go check out that press conference. It's on YouTube. He went over there and pressed for homosexuality to be allowed in a country that is Muslim and Christian. But that doesn't seem to matter to America and her Western allies or European allies. And so they're literally, if you've been paying attention to the press conferences that they've been having in America at the White House, they have literally suggested or directly said that they're going to put sanctions on countries of Africa, economic sanctions, try to starve them out if they don't accept homosexuality in Africa. And that in itself should cause alarm for people from all over the world. Well, not really. It seems they only should raise alarm for black people. Good morning, Kevin. And this thing is getting really serious. It's like it's going into overdrive. Now, this country, they can send representatives out all over any nation that has majority, if not some spectacles of black people, to try to push homosexuality. Force, not push, force. Almost like soprano, mafia style, cajole or forcefully encourage them or under duress to accept homosexuality. And then you have people say it's not an agenda. And one thing I can say about those African presidents, they're remaining strong, they're remaining steadfast, and they're saying a lot of stuff that y'all really need to pay attention to. And I've been really just kind of glued into what a lot of them been saying, and they've been saying some of the same stuff that we've said, but it is very refreshing to hear that they're not backing down. Now, this is not to say they won't go ahead and give in, but right now they're putting up a pretty good fight in their various parliaments in each country. And they're saying, like, America, you come over here and try to go against our culture. That is not who we are. That's not part of our moral fabric in our country. But you're talking about human rights, because what America has done, when they love to play games, if y'all would just read what Dr. John Henry Clark was talking about, read what Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talked about, if you just pay attention to what Dr. Claude Anderson is talking about, Dr. Amos Woods, all of the scholars have always talked about these manipulative ploys and strategies to try to conquer and control a group of people. I think if you go back and read the book of How Europe Underdeveloped Africa, go find that book. Is that Chancellor Williams? Go and find that book. Go back and read, but then we won't be caught off guard by the behaviors and these instances that are occurring in this world, and particularly Africa. They're saying you're trying to convince us that this is a human rights issue, but you have police officers killing blacks in your country. You don't address that. You have all the stuff that's going on in America they're blatant human rights violations. These African presidents have been pointing it out. See, social media can be a good thing and a bad thing. One thing it is consistent with, that is sharing information all over the world. And people are paying attention, whether we realize it or not. The world pays attention to how America behaves, and they're throwing it right back in America's face. Because you're a hypocrite. You're talking about human rights for people, for a group, you're talking about Marriage Act and all that stuff. Those people don't play that. So my thing is, America, why are you bothering people who are not bothering you? You know, the Ugandan president said, we don't care about your sanctions. We don't need you. We're rich in minerals. We have natural resources. We don't need you. I said, way to go. That's what I'm talking about. And I need more college age students to hear this conversation, this dialogue, and then start to have real conversations. Okay, you think that it's so great, why do you need to force it on anybody? If you believe that it's so great, why do you think you need to force it on somebody? And that's what America's doing. They sent their first lady of flunky, the vice president, Kamala Harris, around, but he couldn't get Kamala Harris to show up we couldn't get her to show up at the border to stop the immigrants from coming, and she would not show up. Couldn't get her to come to these neighborhoods when the cops are shooting up on the unarmed black people. Couldn't get her to do that. We can't get her to travel around and promote reparations to repair all the damage that this country and its European allies have caused black people, not people of color, but black people. Can't get her to push reparations around the world. Can't get her to talk about reparations here. Hell, we can't even get her to talk about black men positive in this country. Black boys, except when they're talking about locking them up. So the hypocrisy is real. It's always been real. It's part of white supremacy's MO, hypocrisy. And so I'm glued to it, and I want to see which country of those 54 countries on the continent of Africa are going to fold, or some have already folded. But let me tell y'all something that a lot of people haven't paid attention to, and I heard I had already posed this question. Me and Mary Max had already had this conversation. But to hear it come from the mouths of a couple of those African presidents, I don't understand. We have our culture. It is in fabric, it ingrained in the fabric of our country, but yet and still you want to impose on us this unnatural behavior, this everything that goes against God. And one guy said, have you ever seen, now he's in Parliament, have you ever seen a male elephant or a male lion mount another male lion? Woo. See, we've been saying the same, so these people are not having it. And we're around here thinking we're in La La Land. These people look. And they also posed this question. How come America never tries to travel to Dubai, Iran, Iraq, and China, and Japan? Any one of these countries, particularly these Muslim countries, these Arab nations, how come they never go to any one of those countries and say, you know, they need to have LGBT rights here? How come they never go to them when in those countries you will be killed for displaying homosexual behavior publicly? Or even if you found out, you'd be jailed, according to reports. But in Africa, they have the same belief, but they just still trying to make Africa feel guilty about not accepting what they believe is immoral behavior. And they understand that it breaks down the community. Look at America. But most importantly, look at black people. Look how we so fucked up. These girls are so lesbian. These guys are so sexually unassured. And they understand what they're doing because under white supremacy, white racism, white supremacy, the goal is to control. And if you can keep people worrying about sex, you can forever be in power and not have them worried about power. Even these black politicians that y'all keep voting for, the Democrat, every time you vote for them as a black person, even the white Democrats, you give them 99% of your vote. And the first thing that come out of their mouth, not even after they get elected, but hell, while they're on the campaign trail, want to talk about trans, queer, marginalized people. They don't even mention black people. And so you got our country going around the world trying to destroy other black cultures. Because when you got people, all they worry about is women eating each other coochie, guys around here want to butt fuck each other, but they ain't worried about nothing else. Because they already know you cannot continue a community, you cannot continue a people from anal sex and coochie eating. Women on women, men on men. Everyone knows this. And so they want to really tear down the structure of the continent of Africa. See, they've conquered America. And they've conquered Canada. And you got Justin Thoreau with his little bitch ass want to talking about, yeah, it's unacceptable. Man, why don't you worry about that little weak ass country of yours, Canada? You know, and that is the big issue. And then we have these people have these nonsensical conversations about, no, it's human rights. It's not a human right. It's what people do in their bedroom. Nobody cares. But when did someone who want to have butt sex with another man, another one want to eat another woman's coochie, become a political talking point? Years ago, particularly in the black community. Shout out to Bayard Rustin, who's over Dr. King, y'all boy, who got caught getting tossed up by two white men in 1957 in a park. So as a irritated Gina would say, what do you call this shit? Damn. Yeah, I forgot what he's called, but y'all go check out the irritated genie. He was banned from one of the Caribbean islands for speaking against that behavior. Irritated genie. Shout out to that brother. I ain't heard from him in a while. I'm gonna have to look him up, see what he's talking about these days, because he's been banned from speaking from a lot of places that like these Caribbean islands and stuff. He there talking about the shit. They sent word, no, we don't want him over here talking about want people to have straight, neutral families, man, woman, and child. Y'all ever hear these people in America talk about man, woman, and child? Especially your white and black Democrats, they don't talk about that at all. Women, women, men, men. And one of the African presidents was saying, we ain't trying to have no kids adopting children. They got laws and they're putting in place about the bolos of law to cut all that shit out. And if you believe in God and nature, you're so Christian this morning. Hallelujah. Come on, somebody. If you truly believe in God and nature, you'll know what that continent is talking about. Because name of the game, if y'all talk about the stories of Sodom and Gomorrah, come on with it now. It's the same thing. America wants to turn the world into what America is, debaucherous Sodom and Gomorrah. While the elite just siphon off the energy of the people. And that's what's going on. So I don't engage in these weird ass conversations. You know, people have the right to live, and no one cares about homosexuals living or dying. They're just like anybody else. You know, you have the right. You're in America. You can do whatever you want to do. There are no laws telling you can't hold hands in public, because they hold hands all the time. There are no laws here to say y'all can't tongue kiss all on TV and tongue kiss all in the park and in clubs. No, I mean, not in clubs. Well, their clubs. But tongue kiss in the mall. And nobody can. No, there are no laws sanctioning that against that. So I don't understand how they feel so oppressed. Yeah, the people who are oppressed are heterosexuals in America. That's the oppressed group. Yeah, anything they try to even damn near wipe out men and women having love scenes, sex scenes. Shout out to Mary Max. They're trying to wipe it out. Every time you put on a TV show, it's two guys getting their cheeks clapped, women sucking each other's tongue out their mouth. Like, goddamn, how's that intricate to the story? But we just absorb it. Our minds are becoming more and more polluted. We just absorb it every day. And so it becomes normalized. Y'all, that word normalized. James Weathers, Greg Hume, what's up? And so we don't know what's going on. We don't know what to fight. But over in those other countries who still believe in God and nature, they're not having it. And our community is just constantly attacked. Again, why is it? Y'all haven't noticed. Why is it that America seems to, wherever there's black people, they want to push Jesus and homosexuality on the people? Religion was one of the main tools after they got through beating and rape, sexually assaulting and everything else to beat down the spirit of the enslaved Africans. Then they gave them their Jesus Christ. So now they want to destroy the moral fabric of the culture by trying to force them through, number one, try to bribe them off. Then number two, since if they won't accept the bribe, well, we're going to install or institute sanctions against your country. Y'all not paying attention to that shit? It's horrible. And I want to salute those African presidents who are standing tall. Stand tall, African countries, because black Americans are defeated. We're done. The black Christians, so-called black religious here, they just talk about go along and get along. Talk about just giving up the fight. They're done. And anybody who dares say anything, use your own brain and say, no, that ain't cool. Oh my God, you're homophobic. You're homophobic. You're transphobic, fat, all this phobia. But nobody wants to talk about the number one phobia in America and the world. That's called black melophobia. That's my word, copyrighted. It's black melophobia. Yeah. That's what's going on. And so, dear America, dear Canada, dear Europe, leave Africa alone. They don't want to be gay. Leave them alone. And there's something else they said. One of the prime, it's the MP. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna find out what an MP is. But those guys are really vocal. They're saying, when China and Russia, they come over here, they offer military weapons and they offer military science and training. America wants to offer homosexuality. They don't even respect them enough. Even do some real trading with the countries in Africa. They don't respect them enough to do some serious grown-up trading or trading with the country. He said, so what do you have to offer? All you have to offer is homosexuality. You know, so at least China's over there, you know, trying to halfway take over quite a few of the countries. But they're building infrastructure, they're offering technology, they're doing all kinds of stuff. You know, that's like an even trade. But those damn Chinese are still some racist little miniature height fuckers. How you gonna have a restaurant over in Africa, in Nigeria, and then say no blacks allowed, no, in one of their cities? Yeah, by the way, that restaurant was shut down. It takes a lot of nerve. Nobody respects blacks. They try this every day. No country. Now they're talking about, just a report, I'm going to read the rest of it. Go to tdhiphop.com or TD Hip Hop on YouTube. He's talking about the Afghanistan immigrants got racial stuff to say about blacks. Everybody knows the script. When you get to America, piss on the black Americans. And we're standing around here arguing about foolishness. And the world already got the script given to them on how to treat blacks when they come over here. And everywhere America goes, it wants to spread homosexuality. So this is going to be the deal, I guess, all this year, this summer at least, probably all this year. And that's going to be the campaign thing, I guess, again. But we can't ever get reparations. We can't even get resources for black male on any politician's agenda. And Dr. Claude Anderson speaks about this often. He referred to it as benign neglect. Benign neglect, for those of you who refuse to Google it or understand who Dr. Claude Anderson is, benign neglect is you are to never, ever, and this is Dr. Claude Anderson's voice, you are to never, 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 never speak about black folks specifically. You know what Kamala Harris said? If you're talking about creating policy or doing something just for black folks, I don't think so. I'm not going to do anything just for black folks, but she's over there trying to fight just for homosexuals. And to you black gays, do you think it's talking about you? It ain't never about you. You just get in when you fit in. I did a video years ago and posed the question, do white gays respect black gays? And their answer is hell no. Because they still white. You still a Negro. You can yas, hunty, and shante, and work, bitch, all day long. But you still black. And I think these black gays know this, but out of stubbornness. Just like when women don't want to admit how terrible single motherhood, out of stubbornness, they won't say it out loud. They know that they're fourth fiddle in the white gay hierarchy. So we just playing games. Hey, D'Amica, good morning. So we're going to get it together one day. I just want to share my thoughts on that. What are your thoughts on America trying to go to all the damn African countries to force them into accepting homosexuality when they don't go to Russia, they don't go to China, they don't go to Iran, they don't go to Iraq, they don't go to any Arab nation, they don't go to Dubai, they don't go anywhere else, but wherever there's black people, America and Europe wants to go there and push their religion and homosexuality. Y'all don't find that to be strange, alarming, purposeful? But anyway, I digress. I know y'all getting ready to go to church this morning, amen. Y'all go there and maybe I can get the preacher to talk about that. I know ladies. I say ladies because the majority of ladies in church. You know, we gonna figure out this church thing in the black community on another Sunday. We're gonna deal with that because hopefully this year and beyond, we're gonna start working on these systems that's not working for us. Be it church, these affiliations that we're part of. None of this stuff seems to be working for the black consensus or for the progress of black people in this country. We do all this other stuff instead of doing what Elijah Muhammad said about 80 years ago. We try to vote in, we try to pray in, we try to sleep or marry in, we try to crawl in, kneel in. We try everything else except for the one thing that is more powerful than an atomic bomb. That is black unity. It's like that word just throws American Negroes off. What you mean? We all one people. We all this. I mean, it gets ridiculous when you hear this, especially these Negroes that are supposed to have education. It is just ridiculous. But yeah, it seems like that word, that two words put together, black unity, just seem to throw black folks off. It just offends them. You know, because you got your little white friends. Some of you got your little white wives and white husbands and or Latino and whatever other stuff, but that still shouldn't stop black unity. I'm telling you, it's like we literally can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Whew. However, my little morning stroll about to be up, but I just want to share that with y'all. By the way, y'all go check out those videos and see what those African presidents are talking about. They're giving some good pushback. It'll be a great thing if African Americans could voice their opinion on it and let the world know, let Africa know we got your back. Those of us who feel the same way as they do, because a lot of us are so fucked up out here. What are you saying, Kevin? Today's church is all about making money. It's a business and not really about God. You said not really. I say not at all. And it stopped being that long time ago. I think it stopped being that when they started offering what you call that faith-based initiative, or FBI. And that's how you got these what's called, what we refer to now as mega churches. When George W. Bush put out that, was it George Sr. or George Bush? George W. When they came up with that faith-based, when they allowed churches to become 501c3, and then the floodgates just opened up. I said, damn, they get a lot of money. I mean, they get millions of dollars. And if you start a mentoring program that really helps somebody, you can't even get a goddamn grant from your local, from in your city. And they give you a grant, it'd be some $1,500. $1,500? You might get lucky if you get a $5,000 or $10,000 grant, but these churches get millions of dollars. I mean, so much so that a lot of your preachers got private jets. They live in houses like Rick Ross. How do they do that? And then people think, well, people will give. Nah, that money is way more money. People don't give that much damn money every Sunday. Now, they might get $50,000, every Sunday. It depends on how big the church is, but how they amass $50 million? They're being paid to do a service. That same Negro preacher today, that same Negro preacher that was created on your plantation, he's there to promote the oppressor's agenda. And a lot of these preachers don't want to talk about it because, number one, the churches are mainly made up of women. And everybody knows, except for me, obviously. I wouldn't be so broke that I am now if I understood the goddamn assignment. You got to kiss women's ass. Meaning you got to lie to them to get their bread out their purse and get their head off their neck. You hear me? You got to lie to them. That's what people have done. Everything's about money. It's capitalism. People will sell their soul for the dollar. A lot of us have sold our race out for the dollar. No morals. Now they're trying to urge Africa to sell its morals for the dollar so they can slide in the homosexual component. And for those of you who just got all riled up about that whole DeSantis vetoing that so-called African-American studies program in the schools there in Florida, y'all should have read the rest of the fine print. Kevin says, 10 years on the building fund and you still haven't broken ground yet. Exactly. But they want to talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. He said, look, I want my school to be built by strictly black hands, black dollars. And it takes long because black folks don't like to give like that too unless you're famous or a celebrity that you like or a preacher. Umar Johnson talks about things that goes against a lot of what I call the Negro sensibilities. Mary Max is asking me, Rico, did you see the black preacher Elderman who called another man the N-word while he was on stage at a forum? No, what is this? Hold on a second. He called the constituents the N-word 3 times or thrice. See, Rico, did you see the black preacher, elder man, who called another man the N-word while he was on stage in a forum? He called the constituents the N-word there. No, I haven't seen that. That's one of those African interviews. I haven't seen that. And so, yeah, we give really the weirdest ways. Something that's directly helping our people. The thought of, maybe y'all didn't want it to be Dr. Umar. He said, nope, it's on my page. Okay, I'll go check it out, maybe Max. Maybe, maybe it's Dr. Umar, himself. I can dig that, but he's talking about building a school to re-educate black children. What's the crime in that?
On your left.
And so, he could just, hey, you should just went around me, honky. Oh, you left. Tell you, it's a lot of nerve. But anyway. So we're gonna learn one day. Because we still have this thing that was told to me years ago when I was a student, undergrad at Grambling State University. Well, I think I was in grad. Was it undergrad or grad? No, as a community, we tend to pay for what we want but beg for what we need. And that we still seem to behave like that when it comes to stuff that we say we want or say we need for ourselves or our children. We won't build it, won't support it unless some celebrity or some celebrity preacher, mega preacher, somebody that we're entertained by say, hey, let's do this. They're already rich, but we seem like to give rich people more money. You don't give folks out here who's speaking the truth, possibly risking their livelihood or whatever. Now y'all wait and see what happens to them. Well, he ain't gonna have no job long talking like that. I don't think he should say it like that. Remember? And so, go back to the plantation. You had those people who thought like that on the plantation snitched out every insurrection that occurred. Black folks was fighting to get away from that, but they always had a snitch. Now so they doing it. They planning an escape. I don't know that. When I see people say, I love the movie Django. But I think we watch these movies to be entertained. We don't watch to learn. Because from that movie Django, we should have understood who Sambo was and who Uncle Tom. Because I think we still call Uncle Tom. We're using it in the wrong context. But Samuel Jackson's character is Sambo. And we're so traumatized and so untreated, mentally untreated, that we use everything as some way to make us laugh. And when we start thinking, we get nervous and we have these reactions to it. Anxiety starts flowing through our body when we start hearing the truth. But one thing about the truth that causes you to do two things: change your mind, and number two, become active. A lot of us don't want to wake up. We don't want to wake up. Just because it's nice to sleep in. It is. It's awesome to sleep in. So Mary Max, what do you say? Negroes dodged Dr. Umar dog. Hold on, wait a minute. Negroes dog Dr. Umar for wanting to help black boys in this country, but don't say a goddamn word when the government works to have those same boys murdered or institutionalized. You are correct. And then why does it have to be somebody like, just Dr. Umar, just King Randall? King Randall is a young brother in Albany, Georgia, who's in his little town. He opened up a school, but it wasn't from black dollars. And people got upset because because he appears on Fox News to, get his word out, and they stick straight to the script. I'm here to help black boys. We need this for our community. We need this and that. And a lot of those folks like, yeah, they start helping them out, mailing them stuff, sending them funds, money, and resources to help those boys. He got his school open. Even when black folks there were trying to block him. This is a 22-year-old young brother. He started all this like 19. Got two boys of his own. And out there grabbing young men out of the community who were being almost pretty much systematically left behind. And he's still working. And when he got on the black network, which was Roland Martin wanted to talk crazy to the man. Why, don't you want to hold him responsible for Trump? That's stupid crap. Well, so you say you're a conservative? He said, no. He said, voting is not my thing. Our people are hurting. That is not my deal. And he was right. Hell, we can pick a purpose. We can choose what we want to fight for, be for or against or whatever. But that's a whole nother life. You know. And Roland Martin thought he was, you know, letting the young man have it, end up making him a international superstar. But I still have yet to see this young black man with a black wife, black baby mama, both his kids by her, and she's a cute little thing too. They co-parent really well. With his little black sons, I have yet to see this young man on any black networks. BET, Bounce, what else is supposed to be, Revolt, The Breakfast Club, any of this shit, name them. I have yet, and that young man has a humongous story to tell. An inspiring story to tell. But you cannot see him on any black network. So if you want to see him, you'll see him he was on Comedy Hype a year or so ago. They did an interview with him on there, and he's mainly on, Fox News and people who work there and all that. And then y'all get upset when people try to make, raise funds for their projects, because black folks won't even help them. Won't help them. It's called, X for Boys.
Morning.
Good morning. xforboys.org. That's his thing. And he has people in his corner, but Black America should have been jumping down on that. That is a story. Out of stubbornness, we just throw people away. The people that we need. But we keep these old funk-ass rappers. Y'all constantly watching that, what's that, Chris Chazon, and is that NBA, who's that boy that him and his girlfriend fight every week? Y'all watch that shit all the time. Support that. But you want to support this young black man, doesn't have a criminal record, doesn't do drugs, he pushes exercise, he even pushes spirituality / religion to the boys, raising them. But y'all want to watch these old broken-ass Negroes that white folks put on TV. There's something wrong with Black America. I keep saying there's something seriously mentally wrong with Black America. It's like we get dumber by the summer. But I know what I started off talking about. And still, I'm going to say it again. Dear America, dear Canada, dear Europe, leave Africa alone. They don't want to be gay. Leave them alone. How about you go and peddle your homosexuality to China, to Russia, to Iran, to Iraq, to the Arab nations? Go to Dubai and try to peddle that shit. But somehow you respect those white nations, or brown and religious nations, the Islamic nations. But y'all wanna, everywhere there's black folks, you wanna go there and try to bribe them or bully them. And that's not acceptable, America. It's not acceptable. Hell, because they know what comes with it. When you start pushing it, whatever you call under human rights, homosexuality or LGBT or homosexuality, guess what's already waiting around the corner to sleep on in there, because it's already going down. That is pedophilia. Those in those South African beaches, them white men from England, France, Dutch, Portugal, they keep their nasty asses over there. They stay over there messing with those little boys, 8, 9 years old. If there's homosexuals in Africa, guess where they got it from? Good morning, Tonda. Where do you think they got it from? Europeans over the last 100 years, taking their nasty ass over there from France, Portugal, whatever the Dutch is, England, Britain, London, Australia. They come from all over the world. They have pedophile sex with little African boys and young 12, 11, 10-year-old African girls. So when the gays over there in Africa, they got it earnestly, because they were assaulted as little children by all these European sick-ass pink body ass, red neck ass, peeling skin ass Caucasians from Europe. Nasty fuckers. And that's why Uganda, Ghana, Kenya, Zimbabwe said, no, you can go away from here with that. We don't do that. We don't do that behavior here. It is against our moral code. It's not a part of our culture. We only deal with man and woman. So, but anyway, y'all. Really feels good out here. It's like, I think it's like 60. Wait a minute. What? Like 60. And there's a crisp in air. Sun is shining. It's awesome. And so, but by the way, y'all like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rico the Opinionist. Hey, go check out my group page, Rico the Opinionist. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I just share my thoughts. That's all I do now. When you check out the description box of my YouTube, as well as my Facebook page that you're on right now, there's a PDF of a short story that I wrote years ago. It's called The Greatest Pain Ever Felt. Conversation with absent biological father who never wanted to be found. It's only $10. Cash app your boy, $ Rico the Opinionist. I think you can look at Rico Rivers as well, and it'll show up. If you decide to hit your boy with that $10 cash app for the book, for the PDF, please send me an email address. You can also hit me at Rico the Opinionist to PayPal. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to relax and get some things done because I got to hit the side hustle today. But y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I hope I didn't keep you too long with my Sunday morning sermon. I'll see y'all again in the future. I can't say next Sunday, but definitely in the future sometime. Y'all be cool. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.